What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I have a subscriber story for you guys that is basically about an emo kid trying to rob them. You know how it is here on this channel. I don't know what it is about emo kids, dude. Like, listen, if you want to hate your life, that's totally cool, but you don't need to be out here trying to rob other people, man. Just go back to Hot Topic, buy a shirt with a catchy slogan on it, and mind your own business. Regardless, guys, the story is pretty entertaining, especially because, as you can tell, tries to rob is in the title, which means, you know, there's a little bit of comeuppance, some sweet, sweet justice served. But yeah, it should be a pretty entertaining video, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
I'm in the streets like it's Tokyo. Girls on me everywhere I go. I'm driving.
Anyways, this person who sent me this story walked home from school, and they would walk home with a friend of theirs who was named Jeremy, and Jeremy was like, you know, not the toughest kid ever, but basically he was picked on a lot. That's the better way to say it. I was trying to phrase it nicely for the YouTube system here, but Jeremy was the type of kid that would get picked on a lot. So they would walk home together, and it was kind of like the person who sent this story was insurance for Jeremy to make sure that he would get home in one piece with, like, all of his possessions. And they lived on the same street, and there was another kid who lived on the same street for this story. I'm gonna name him Marcus. And Marcus, you know, for whatever reason, was a little bit of an emo guy. He had the hair that went down past his eyes to the point where, like, you weren't really sure if he could see or not. If he was taking a nap in class, you would really have to get close and listen to see if he was snoring or not. Like, that type of hair, dude. If you ever tried to talk to him, he was just constantly like, life is pain, existence is nothing, existence is futile, why do we try? Like, you know, just super fun to talk to, one of those emo kids. And for whatever reason, Marcus, like, hated Jeremy, okay? He hated him. I don't know if it was because it was the only person in the entire world that he knew he could beat up. Like, Marcus was not winning a fight against basically anybody else except for Jeremy. So, for whatever reason, these guys had beef. And Marcus would follow Jeremy and this person home every day from school and just, like, shout insults at Jeremy to try to get them to fight. They'd be like, yeah, Jeremy, your dad's stupid, dude, and you don't do anything about it. Which, I mean, it's fair enough. Like, if you just call my dad dumb, do you really want me to fight you? Like, you don't know my dad, bro. Like, you don't know my dad. Is that supposed to hurt my feelings? But regardless, emo boy was, like, constantly trying to, you know, cause problems and start a fight. And one day, they had had enough, Jeremy had had enough of this kid following them and constantly threatening them to fight him. So Jeremy stopped and turned around and is like, all right, man, you've been trying to fight me for months, following me home, like, let's fight. And the emo kid is like, yeah, let's fight. And so it's Jeremy versus Marcus, the emo kid. And Marcus's kid, like, emo posse had been walking with him, and they're all hyping him up. They're like, bro, Marcus, you're gonna straight demolish this dude. Like, look at him. He's so small. He's so tiny, dude. Like, he's not even that sick. How is he gonna fight you? You were at, like, the front of the mosh pit. This guy probably doesn't even go to mosh pits, dude. Like, that's how lame he is. You're about to knock this dude out. Just hyping him up. So Marcus is getting all hyped. He's like, yeah, you hear that, Jeremy? I'm gonna smack you. And Jeremy, you know, looked like a really small kid. He would get picked on a lot. But something that nobody knew about Jeremy, he was a massive, massive fan of Taekwondo. He just didn't like to fight, which I've actually noticed that, like, the more somebody knows how to fight, the more somebody can just, like, destroy you in a fight, the less they ever want to fight. Like, somebody who knows Taekwondo doesn't have anything to prove by beating up an emo kid in the middle of the street. They're like, yeah, no, I know I can do that. Like, nothing to prove. So, whatever. Jeremy's like, look, I don't want to fight you, you know, trying to back out, even though he had just gotten pissed and asked him to fight. And Marcus starts, like, calling him a chicken for trying to back out and change, which I understand. Like, if you challenge somebody, you kind of got to stick up for yourself. But I think it was more of just an anger reaction. And then this Jeremy kid is like, ah, crap, I'm actually going to hurt this dude. I don't want to fight. So whatever, he's calling him a chicken. Marcus is like, Jeremy's a chicken. Jeremy's a chicken. And they go to start turn and walk away from the emo kids. And Marcus walks up behind Jeremy and just punches him in the back of the head. Like, punches him in the back of the head, which, come on, man, come on. How are you going to call him a chicken and then launch a surprise attack with a punch in the back of the head? Like, ha, you are the one who will not engage me in combat. As soon as you turn around, that is when I will throw the punch to catch you off guard. Ah, ha. Like, that's your anime arc, bro? You're gonna be that one dude who's cheating in the fighting tournament at the end of the Dragon Ball Z season? Not vibing with it. So at this point, Jeremy turns around and just puts the whooping on Marcus in front of all of his friends, in front of everybody, just beats the crap out of him. And I do not advocate for violence. Violence is never the answer. I'm not saying you should go fight. However, if somebody punches you in the back of the head while you're just trying to peacefully walk away from a situation and then tries to keep hitting you, by all means, you have every single right to, like, defend yourself. I don't think that's a controversial hot take. And if you think it is, well, then your opinion's just wrong. But if somebody hits you in the back of the head, you have every single right to defend yourself. So Jeremy just starts wailing on this kid, like going to town on him, as you do when somebody tries to jump you. And finally, you know, the emo kids come over, they help their friend, and Marcus is getting pulled away, and he's like, I'm gonna make you pay for that, dude. You're gonna regret that. But, you know, tears running through his eyes, and like there's just a flurry of black emo hair everywhere because he got it like beat off his head, you know, like it was a beatdown. So sure enough, the emo kids like scurry off with their tails between their legs, and Jeremy is basically unscathed. He says the back of his head hurt a little bit, but like overall, he definitely wins the fight. And word gets around relatively quickly at the school that Jeremy, this pipsqueak that everybody thought was like, you know, this weakling that everybody was kind of picking on, low-key put the beating on this Marcus kid who was supposed to be the super tough, edgy emo dude. So obviously, Marcus's reputation does become a little bit damaged, which does happen when you get beat up by the school nerd, especially when you get the first punch and try to jump him. Like, listen, if this kid, Jeremy, really looked like he has asthma, you know, smaller than Stuart Little out here, and you got beat up by him after you started the fight, that's just embarrassing. Like, that's just a fat L. I'm not really sure how you recover from this. So he's all mad, and he walks up to Jeremy at lunch, and he's like, I'm gonna get you back, like, watch your back after school today. And Jeremy's like, look, dude, I don't want to have any problems. We really don't have to do this. Like, just don't follow me home. Don't do anything. And he's like, oh, you'll see. Like, I've already got something planned, which, you know, kind of ominous to tell somebody that you hate, like, I've got something planned for you. I'm pretty sure that's how you can get arrested. But regardless, the rest of the day, the person who sent in this story is nervous, but Jeremy's like, whatever, I already beat him up once. It's not like it matters. So this time they're walking home, and there's a much bigger crowd following them. You have all the emo kids following Marcus, who's been shamed, you know. He's gotten, like, the mark of disgrace because a nerdy conformist has beaten him, and now him hating his life isn't good enough, you know. Like, wow, are you even cool if you got beat up by a nerd, dude? Like, I don't even know if you can be in our emo clique. So obviously they're getting followed home, and Marcus, like, walks up to Jeremy and pulls out, like, you know, a Swiss Army knife, like not like a knife, but like a Swiss Army knife, and is like, oh, you think you're tough now, huh? How about you just give me all your money, huh? And everybody is like, yo, dude, like, chill out, chillax. And he's like, no, I'm not afraid of anything. Like, you guys think that I'm afraid of him, huh? You guys think that I'm afraid of him? And he's got, like, this Swiss Army knife. And Jeremy is like, look, dude, I don't want any trouble. We don't have to do this. And that's when he's like, how about you shut up? And, like, when he does that, he kind of, like, pokes this Swiss Army knife into Jeremy's chest. And that's when Jeremy, dude, the absolute unit, just, like, pops it out of his hand with a quick flick of the wrist. You know, some straight up Captain America stuff. The person who sent this in says everybody's, like, jaw hits the floor with the speed how he disarms this knife. Summons his inner Bruce Lee. His eyes start growing like he's Avatar in Ultra Instinct. And once again, just starts wailing on this dude. And now he's mad. Like, last time when he was beating him up, he wasn't saying anything. But this time he's like yelling. He's like, who do you think you are to threaten me? Like, did you not learn your lesson yesterday? And everybody is like, oh my God, just silently kind of standing there watching this go down. And before anybody is like, oh my gosh, why didn't they stop him? If you try to rob somebody, I'm sorry, karma happens, and getting beat up might be it. So obviously, finally he gets pulled out, and Marcus is like, dude, you caught me off guard, like, let me catch you again. And everybody, even the emo kids, are like, listen, Marcus, I think he's proven now that, like, you got him beat. You just tried to rob him with a knife, and he still just beat the crap out of you in front of everybody. How about you leave him alone? And this Marcus dude, being the emo king he is, you know, like, can't handle his ego being checked. Like, he's supposed to be the dude who doesn't care and, like, is the real savage. And here's this little kid just putting him in his place, so his ego's all bruised. He's like, whatever, dude. Like, you're lucky I didn't want to hurt you. You know, you're such a freak. Like, just trying to hurt his feelings. And Jeremy is like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, mind your business. You know, like, get out of here. Don't ever follow me home again. Like, is pissed. And up until this point, Jeremy usually was not a very angry dude. Like, he's pretty calm, but you know, sometimes you just snap and you gotta go off and like beat up somebody who's trying to rob you. It be like that sometimes. So they get home, since they lived on the same street, and sure enough, they're like, yo, that was crazy. And Jeremy's like, yeah, I just hope people at school don't start like treating me differently, you know, because there was a lot of people from the school that had been following them while this kid tried to like Swiss Army bank hold up. I don't know what he was doing about. And basically from that point on, people did treat him differently, but like in a good way. All the big kids that used to pick on him and like mess with him, you know, started treating him with respect. He got some street cred out there, which, listen, I understand why you wouldn't want anybody to treat you differently, but like if you are Bruce Lee and you can disarm somebody and you're awesome, then like, yeah, you should probably get credit for it. People shouldn't mess with you if you're not somebody who should be messed with. So good for him. Regardless of whether or not he wanted to get treated differently, it doesn't matter. But that wasn't the only person who started to get treated differently. From what this person told me, after that, Marcus basically lost like all of his influence around the school because nobody could take him seriously. Like the former king of the emo boys, who was the edgelord around school and had the final say in everything that little clique did, basically lost all of his power because he tried to rob the one person in the school who just, you know, Keanu Reeved him. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Moral of the story is, if you're gonna be an emo kid, maybe don't try to like get revenge and fight people. If you can't fight, it's really not rocket science. Like, if you can't fight, don't fight. But yeah, and avoid violence at all costs, guys. I just want to make that clear. On that note, follow me on Instagram at Scrubby, Twitter at Scrubby_69. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Check out some of the OG Sub Club merch down below. Use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout. And if you really enjoyed the song of the intro, a link will be down below on Spotify. Be sure to go do all that. And yeah, on that note, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Don't get anyone pregnant, and if you do, make sure they're hot. And I'm out. Peace.